My name is Tom Muth. I've been working at First National for about 3 years now, and I am the Vice President of Acquisitions. Quite simply, when you create a land contract, you are using yourself as the bank instead of a bank. So your purchaser will be paying you directly rather than a bank. So there are a lot of reasons why you'd want to sell a land contract. First and foremost is capital. Everybody's looking to get a little bit more money, so this is an option for that if you possess one. You may be looking to simplify, to streamline your life, and maybe you don't want to deal with collecting monthly payments over the next 5, 10, 20 years. We can help you with that. You may just be tired of it. Maybe you're looking to move on to a new investment. There are a lot of financial advantages to converting a land contract into cash. First and foremost, you get all your money at once rather than it coming out over the course of years or even decades in some cases. So being able to invest that money where you might be able to get a better return, or you simply pay off some debts, whatever you're looking to do, you can do that with a large lump sum of money that you just can't do with a payment stream over time. Selling your land contract with First National is very straightforward. It begins with you calling us, with you contacting us either by our fast quote form on our website or by calling us on the phone. Maybe you've received a letter or received an advertisement from us, and what we want to do is we want to talk to you. We want to kind of get a feel for what your current situation is, what the situation is you created with regards to your land contract, and how we can help you. It all begins with how we can help you. We're looking to solve problems for you by freeing up capital or freeing up your time. So once we get those terms from you, once we have that basic initial conversation where we gather basic terms from you on your note, we're able to create a quote for you, a dollar amount that we're able to pay for it. Assuming you say yes for it, assuming that that's a good price, we then move on where we collect all your documents. We do a due diligence phase, which usually takes about 3 to 5 days, where we kind of look over the pay history, look over the credit, look over your purchaser and the property, order an eval. And then once we have all that done, we take it to our underwriting team. Usually stays with them for another 1 or 2 days while they review the file, making sure everything looks good. On to processing. Our processors, there are title processors, and they make sure that title is clean, that we have a clear chain of title, and that we're good to close. That whole process from you receiving a quote to getting your money takes about 30 days. Some instances can be much quicker. We have some closed in as little as 10 days. Sometimes it can take a little bit more. It can take 30, 40, 50 days if we have some title issues that we need to clear out. First National Acceptance Company excels at purchasing land contracts. We've been purchasing them for over 50 years, so we know the business very well. We are extremely streamlined in our process from that initial call you make to getting you your money. We have a team of over 30 people under our department that is solely dedicated to working on seller financed loans. So you have a whole team dedicated to you and making sure the process is done quickly, efficiently, and correctly. When you sell your contract to First National, nothing changes for your purchaser except where that check goes. The terms stay in place, so we won't be changing the interest rate, we won't be changing the monthly payments or the time on the loan. Nothing changes. So we treat your purchaser how you would want them treated. Additionally, they have the benefit of us reporting credit scores to credit agencies. So your purchaser will see their credit score improve, which will open up doors to them that they did not have before. They'll be able to get better rates on car loans, or if they wanted to refinance down the road. It really does help out purchasers. I think the biggest misconception is that it's a difficult process. I think that people think, it's this whole paperwork ordeal. You answer a few questions, you send us a couple pieces of paper, and you sign our sale agreement, and we take care of the rest. So from the seller's perspective, it's a very straightforward process. Another misconception people have is that things will change for their purchaser, that we'll change the terms, or that they're going to have a different experience. Many times a land contract is set up because the seller and the purchaser have a relationship, whether it's a friend or family member. We've even seen coworkers create these for each other. And they want to protect their friends and their family and want to make sure that they're treated well. So I think that there's a misconception that there'll be a big change for the person who purchased the house, and that just doesn't happen. We treat them how you would want to treat them. We can do a partial purchase on really any kind of seller financed loan. So if you are looking to get a specific amount of money, maybe you have a loan to pay off, or you need a specific amount of money for a down payment on a new house, we can cash out just that amount for you, even if you You could say if you are still owed $200,000 on a home, but you only need $50,000, we can cash out $50,000. You can keep the rest of that land contract in your possession. There are a few benefits of having First National service a note once the note has been sold. The first is we offer lots of different payment options. We accept check, of course. We have auto payment, so if you want to set up a set it and forget it for your loan, we're happy to do that. So having those payment options is a big advantage. Another advantage is, we report to credit agencies. So most sellers do not report to credit agencies for good reason. Not really an easy process to do that, but since we are a bank, we have that set up. So every time the purchaser makes a payment, we let TransUnion or Experian know that hey, they're making payments on this. That increases their credit score. That opens up new possibilities to them for loans, whether it's to refinance this property or buy a car or whatever else you need a loan for. It makes it that much easier and cheaper for your purchaser down the road. We look at several different factors when we're creating an offer. The first of which is we look at the two main pillars are credit and equity. We look for good credit and good equity. By good credit, I mean typically over 660. Now, if you go to a bank and they say good credit, they'd say, what, 660? We have a little different scale, so what we consider to be good credit is oftentimes a little bit lower. A score of 660 or higher, more than 20% equity, those are kind of the two main pillars that we look at when we're assessing if we want to buy a note. We look at the property type. While we'll buy all sorts of property, single-family homes, your traditional homes, typically get our best rates. That's kind of what we're after the most. Not to say that we don't buy other types, but that's our most aggressive pricing. Obviously, what the initial interest rate was set to comes into play quite a bit. We'd pay more on a note with an 8% interest rate than we would on a 2%. So having an interest rate reflecting similar or higher to what the current market is usually helps. Condition of property is huge. We like to see pride of ownership, so we like to see lawns mowed, no trash in the yard, that sort of thing, is definitely something that we look for and can get a little bit higher price if we see some real pride of ownership. We'd want to see verified pay history, so we'd want to see a bank statement, or we take Zelle or some of the newer cash apps like Venmo. We consider those verified pay history. Something like a handwritten receipt or a check stub, we consider that unverified. It helps, but it's not as good. So anything that is kind of a third party saying yes, we have seen pay come in on this is very helpful. My advice for if you're looking to sell your land contract is to give us a call. That's the best way to get started. Our analysts can walk you through exactly what we need to give you a good quote. Typically, we will want to see that pay history. So if you're looking at kind of getting documents in order, make sure you have some pay history to show us, and make sure you have the land contract that we can review. But really, the most important thing is just call us and we'll get you started. To start working with First National Acceptance Company, go to FNACUSA.com.